welcome to NPTEL course on power system protection. We are with module 7 on transformer protection. In this lecture, we will be introducing on the challenges with transformer operation in the perspective of fault and allied issues that is related to protection. So, what are the different possible faults in transformer, associated different transformer protection techniques, that including mechanical to electrical, and then at the end we will see how in differential protection perspective we will have the CT selection. We know power transformer is a vital element in transmitting, distributing power to from the generating station to the utilities to the customer's premise. The reliability of a transformer should be very high, otherwise there will be disruption in power, which is not at all desirable. When a fault happens to be there in a transformer, the damage related to will be severe. Further, not only the disruption in power, it is not momentary, it is for long duration till there is replacement of the transformer, unless there is parallel operation of transformer or so. Transformer is costly, so any damage or so is of high economic value. Further, replacement of transformer takes a lot of time because of related transportation and the maintenance, you can say that long maintenance time and so. Now, there are different transformer failures. It may be combination of electrical, mechanical, thermal factors, and finally, it culminates into insulation failure and then following damage to the transformer, even though it may be starting due to some mechanical or thermal factors. We have divided here the three categories: electrically induced, mechanically induced and thermally induced different factors for transformer failures. Lightning is related to very high surge, even switching surges also sometimes becomes very high, and if it comes to the transformer terminal, that may deteriorate the corresponding insulation and leading to failure of the transformer. Operation of transformer under different transients or sustained over voltage condition leads to stress in the transformer winding, and that may consider that lead to insulation failure also. Partial discharge and the associated corona and so may lead to consider that slow degradation and finally the resulting into a permanent fault also. Mechanically induced factors, any consider that mechanical problem may lead to consider that winding deformation and so, leading to rupturing of the insulation. If the damage is severe enough, the transformer will fail electrically. Further, magnetically induced electromechanical forces may be so severe during large current, you can say that during fault in the system, it may be externally also, may lead to you can say that insulation failure also. Those forces you can say that mechanical forces, and that may not you can say that may not be immediately noticed, but that may lead to you can say that degradation of the insulation and finally resulting into permanent fault. Thermally induced factors, slowly the insulation due to aging also degrade, continuous heating happens to be there due to the loading of the transformer. Overloading of the transformer beyond the designed capacity, further you can say that degrades faster the insulation. If the cooling system of the transformer fails, then more heating will be there in the winding and associated insulation. Operating of the consider transformer in overexcitation and so also lead to large amount of current and magnetic flux linkage issues and the core heating and so. Furthermore, the ambient temperature is another you can say that issue you can say that on the thermal perspective also. So, here we have enlisted few of these you can say that these factors on these three categories. There are so many points you can say that on the other points you can say that related to the transformer failures. Just to have you can say that an idea who are the important factors you can say that in this perspective, this is you can say that failure of regions. We have electrical disturbance, stress or fatigue, mechanical and so, line disturbance, the external one, moisture, foreign objects, overloading, any electrical improper connection, lead etc., lead also, insulation issues, lightning and others. So, these are you can say that some percentage you can say that perspective you can say that which leads to failure of transformer. But finally, the failure happens to be in different components, the winding failure, tape changing you can say that issues, failure in the tape changer, bushing failure, core failure and other accessories in the transformer. So, this is in terms of the percentage you can say that which gives us an idea you can say that that in the general trend of transformer operations, what are the different regions and where the fault happens to be there. Now, on the protection also it can be divided into three categories, mechanical, thermal and electrical perspective. So, pressure relay, gas analyzer, thermal protection, hot spot temperature, top oil temperature etc., that is about the thermal perspective. Electrical are these relay protections what we say, there are numerous you can say that protection schemes, differential relay, fuse, overcurrent, earth fault protection and so. So, our emphasis in this presentation will be on the electrical perspective. On these electrical aspects, the objective of the transformer protection is to provide two aspects. One is the any fault internal to the transformer, the transformer must be isolated from both these sides if it is interconnected system, and for any external fault or overload condition the transformer should not be isolated or the corresponding breaker should not be open. So, that we have already discussed in our beginning classes. These are the two issues related to dependability and the security aspect. So, the protection system here, as you have already mentioned, the transformer is a critical element in the system from reliable or reliability point of supply point of view or in terms of economic perspective. So, therefore, you can say that the fault detection perspective, fault detection aspect must be very, the fault detector should be very sensitive. And also you can say that the speed of operation of you can say that the relay should be as fast as possible, so that possible damage can be avoided. For any internal faults, that must be can say that as fast as possible. Overcurrents caused by external faults called as through fault for the differential protection or transformer protection lead to you can say that excessive heating in the system of the transformer, and Such heating deteriorates the insulations which can lead to premature or immediate failure of the transformer, that is also a concern. So, how much you can say that the external fault time the transformer can tolerate, that we can say also a governing factor. In the downstream you can say that protection scheme and coordination of you can say that with the transformer, there must be also addressed in the protection scheme for the transformer. Through faults or the external faults can result in impact forces to the transformer, the mechanical forces which we discussed, which could eventually you can say weaken the integrity of the winding. So, that is another you can say aspect and all these things. Further, a turn to top fault can also be caused by steep fronted incident wave, and those are you can say that other challenges in the transformer perspective. Over excitation, whenever you can say that large load is thrown up or so, the transformer causes lot of eddy currents in the core and so, and that may consider that violate the limit of the design and so. So, in this perspective, we see you can say that the transformer loading that exceeds the transformer nameplate rating can cause a temperature rise, there is a thermal limit violation and may also deteriorate the winding insulations. So, therefore, we say that in addition to the providing protection for internal fault, the design of transformer protection also needs to consider issues related to overloads, over excitation and through fault also, because these things are related to the life of the transformer, and therefore, the protection scheme should address these points also. Transformer static device, but it has you can say that numerous protection challenges. Just to start with, we have one example here. Now, see the change in magnitude of current at the transformer terminals may be very small when limited number of turns are being short circuited. So, we see here you can say that when a turn you can say that to the ground you can say that happens to be there directly to the ground, the corresponding current may be significant. If the corresponding turn happens to be in the lower, you can say that lower turns you can say that in the transformer winding towards the ground, then the fault will be smaller. If the fault is between two turns, then the amount of current may be much smaller. For example, as much as 10% of the winding is required you can say that to be shorted to reach the you can say that rated current you can say that to flow. So, when you talk about a single turn to turn fault, that may lead to you can say that not that significant current, where the transformer terminals can be detectable. So, that is what the issue of you can say that turn to turn fault. At that you can say that point where the fault has occurred, there the current may be significant, but the reflection you can say that the corresponding reflection at the terminal you can say of the transformer, where the corresponding measurements through the CTs will be taken, it may not be significant. So, that puts challenges to the transformer protection. When a transformer is energized, magnetic inrush current flows, or you can say that during a fault sudden dip in voltage, and if the fault is removed quickly you can say that then again jump in voltage, in that kind of thing also transformer inrush is observed. So, but you can say that the transformer inrush happens to be in one side of the winding. So, therefore, you can say that differential current will be there in terms of that, and this current may be many times you can say that the transformer rating. So, even though it is not a fault, then how to we can say that tackle these situations. So, these and there are so other several you can say that issues which we will discuss in the later you can say that part of the module leads to you can say that challenges to the transformer protection, and it must we can say that carefully addressed in any protection scheme designed for transformer. Protection relays are applied in transformer in terms of you can say that power system regions the due reasons you can say that when you design, going for the design must be that they minimize the hazards to personnel, first and foremost thing. So, it has time related issue also. To isolate the faulted equipment from the rest of the system, so that the system can continue function properly, rest of the system should function properly, that is selectivity perspective. If the fault persists for long period, dip in voltage and other things will be there also, which is not desirable from power quality and reliable operation perspective. If the fault persists more time, stability may be an issue if it is in a very high voltage system also. To limit the damage in the faulted equipment, that is the transformer here, the sooner the fault is cleared, the better it is. Minimize the possibility of fire. So, transformer you can say that is associating transformer oil also, and there are many examples you can say that where it may burst and lead to fire, and if that so you can say that the whole substation may be in trouble. Minimize the risk of damage to adjacent high voltage apparatus because of associated fire and other things. So, the point of concern here is that when you are designing protection schemes, all the you can say that point must be also addressed. Now, a list of transformer protection elements in electrical perspective, see IEEE device number you can say enumerated here, just to show that you can say that the transformer protection is not that simple. It is associated you can say that with several electrical, mechanical, thermal, all, and from the electrical perspective you can say that we see here so many can say that varieties of relays are there. However, it is not necessary that you can say that all should be incorporated, that depends upon the situations, requirements and in terms of the economic perspective. Now, to further you can say that simplify that types of fault and the corresponding protection used in electrical perspective, faults in primary winding, differential and overcurrent, even fuse also may be preferred, primary winding phase to earth fault, differential and overcurrent, secondary winding fault also differential can be there, secondary phase to earth fault, restricted earth fault, and so we will address those things you can say that in our later discussion. Internal fault can be identified from the differential principle, and also you can say that Buchholz relay, the mechanical form of relay, core faults, differential and same you can say the Buchholz relay, tank fault, the differential, Buchholz and tank earth you can say that detection, and so overfluxing you can say that we have overfluxing arrangement in the relaying perspective, different harmonic component estimation for that perspective. Overheating, it is a thermal issue you can say that, temperature sensing and so should be there you can say that for the protection perspective. Note that for all these you can say that objectives, there are different protection schemes available in transformer. Fuse is very basic module, fuse based protections are being you can say that widely used for the power transformer, for smaller rating of transformer. Many transformer you can say that use also overcurrent relaying principles, but transformer rating you can say that greater than 5 MVA we will find very common you can say that protection scheme is transformer differential protection. The choice of protection depends on the criticality of the load which is being fed through this transformer, the relative size of the transformer compared to the total system load, and the potential safety concerns which I have already discussed in the earlier slide. So, these all are you can say that related to also this economic perspective, and so that is also an important point in deciding the which protection scheme is to be applied. So, let us first understand what is least square estimation technique before applying to the for the relay applications. We consider a set of measurements that satisfies A plus B t equals to m, where t stands for the time index and m for the measurements. Now, A and B are the system parameters which happen to be not known to us, and these unknowns are to be estimated in this process. Such least square estimation technique you might have come across in the curve fitting techniques or as a tool in signal processing. We are addressing the same thing here. Now, what happens here in this case, we have a set of measurements and the corresponding at different time in this time you can say that perspective. Now, let us you can say that we say that we have n number of measurements for this purpose. So, therefore, that m 0 through you can say that m n minus 1 and the corresponding time where we took these measurements are the t 0 to consider to t n minus 1. So, for this you can say that individual you can say that measurement and the associated time we can write the for the you can say that for corresponding system you can say that a plus b t 0 equals to m 0 and at t 1 time index a plus b t 1 equals to m 1 and like that. So, we will have you can say that a set of n equations for this. So, in this case you can say that these corresponding measurements are associated the corresponding time. Note that the time index you can say that the time you can say that t 0 through t n minus 1 are also known to us and so also you can say that the corresponding measurements are also known to us, through which we like to consider that find the corresponding a and b values for the system as system parameters. These you can say that time you can say that intervals between two we can say that consecutive measurement points, generally they remain to be fixed and that is what we will see can say that in our relay applications. Our focus will be more on the differential protection from the electrical perspective. So, we will start to consider that on the basic principle of differential protection to transformer. Any differential protections for whether it is transformer or any other material, any other element like circuit breakers, it is like bus bar, like a transmission line or so, any element protection in the power system can you can say that have differential protections. If you have sensor you can say that current you can say that sensors at both the sides and from these two sensors you can say that if you take the corresponding current. So, you can apply you can say that KCL to that. So, if you see this current direction here, then it leads to you can say that I 1 and I. So, I 1 plus I 2 should be equals to 0, that is what the KCL says from the KCL. Now, in case of an internal fault, there will be another you can say that path for the current, let us say to the ground. So, that becomes I 3. So, I 1 plus I 2 becomes equals to I 3 you can say that the third you can say that current. So, that means that you can say that at that time the I 1 plus I 2 will be no more 0. So, this you can say that is the basic principle of you can say that the transformer differential protection or any differential protection applied to different elements in power system. Now, come to consider a single phase transformer here, just for clarity on you can say that how we will proceed for the differential protection. So, we have CTs you can say that in the primary side, we have CT in the secondary side and the corresponding CT ratios are 1 is to N 1 and 1 is to N 2. Note, as we have already studied in current transformer case, the N 1 becomes high you can say that and the primary you can say that may be usually 1 turn or so. So, in that case you can say that we say that similarly you can say that the N 2 will be you can say that high and the primary may be 1. But note you can say that here the corresponding main transformer having capital N 1 is to N 2. So, the corresponding you can say that CT currents will be the CT will be connected like this and then you can say that in this differential path the corresponding current becomes I 1 s plus I 2 s, where I 1 s corresponds to the primary side CT secondary current and the I 2 s you can say that the secondary side of the transformer CT secondary current. So, these you can say that will be nothing but in this differential branch the corresponding current associated with. So, normally what happens that if the corresponding suppose you can say that the transformer is feeding load to the right hand side you can say that. So, the current will flow from this primary side so called this primary to the secondary you can say that side to the N 2 side and then you can say that load current will be accordingly. In that case the I1s you can say that the I2s you can say that I1s and I2s you can say that will be equals to 0. For any internal fault you can say that the corresponding I1 plus I2s you can say that will be no more 0, rather this I1 plus I2s will be the corresponding internal fault current amount. So, that leads to you can say that the through this process you can say that detection of any internal fault between these two sensors CT1 and CT2 can be easily detected by this you can say that the differential current. Note that the amount of differential current by I1 plus I2s in this kind of CT connection will be nothing but this internal fault current amount. So, what is being done that in this case the important factor you can say that is that how to select the corresponding CT ratio 1:n1 and 1:n2 what we are telling. So, that you can say that the differential current is indicative of the internal fault, not for any external fault. That is the sole purpose of the differential protection for transformer here. So, we know you can say that for normal condition the capital N1 into I1p equals to N2 I2p, the ampere turn balancing. Now, if you see replace this primary current I1p by the secondary current the considered CT this side. So, that becomes equals to small n1 into I1s. So, this side becomes n1 into I1s. Similarly, if we replace the I2p considered in this side by this secondary current the CT you can say that becomes equals to N2 into I2s. So, this you can say that we say that n capital N1 small n1 I1s equals to capital N2 small n2 I2s. So, this balancing you can say that see that normally the corresponding current you can say that I1s plus I2s will be 0 and the differential current becomes equals to I1 plus I2s, but this balancing no more valid you can say that in case of internal fault case. Now, from this relation if we see you can say that here that with proper CT selection if we can make N1 equals to N2, then the corresponding you can say that CT you can say that the corresponding differential current during normal time will be equals to 0. That you can say that is the depending upon the corresponding transformer turns ratio capital N1 is to N2, the corresponding small n1 and small n2 should be that for the CT you can say ratio should be selected. So, that you can say that during normal situations this branch current becomes 0 and in case of you can say that any internal fault this is no more 0. So, that clearly shows that internal fault can be identified by this arrangement. Now, come to an example you can say that for a 3-phase transformer as usually protection usually applied for the numerical relaying pin spool and so. So, you have you can say that 11 kV to 220 kV you can say that transformer. So, this you can say that low voltage side is connected in delta as we see here and the high voltage side is connected in star that of the transformer. The transformer rating is 110 MVA. And now, you see here you can say that the CTs you can say that which are the CT in a 3-phase systems can be connected in star or delta, but typically you can say that numerical relaying pin spool you do not require you can say that both these sides CTs are connected in star here. We will discuss more on the typical CT connection and so later on. So, in this diagram both the CTs are connected you can say that primary and secondary the low voltage and high voltage sides are considered connected in star and those are you can say that signals are being fed to the differential relay in this case. So, you see here you can say that how to the task is here that the CT selection, what we consider the choice of CT you can say that for the particular differential relay application. So, we say here you can say that the high voltage side, let us come to the high voltage 220 kV side. So, the transformer is having 110. So, the corresponding full load current rating in the line side that becomes equals to 289 ampere and the low voltage side you can say that this leads to 11 kV side and the full load current in the line side you can say that which is measurable. You see your line side current you require. So, which is measurable by the you can say that the through the CT arrangement and so to the relay that becomes equals to comes out to be close to 5773 ampere. So, then you can say that how to proceed for the corresponding CT selection. Many utilities you can say that prefer the corresponding CT primary current should be 125% of the rated current of the transformer, overloading and all these things are being taken care. So, if you say you can say that the the corresponding current you can say that in the primary current you can say that for the rated low voltage side you can say that there, then this becomes equals to 5773 low voltage side first, 1.25, this is 125%, that becomes equals to 7217 ampere. So, but you can say that we may not get you can say exact CT you can say that of that value. So, therefore, standard things will be there. Let us assume that upon the availability this becomes 7500 is to 5 CT for the low voltage side. On the corresponding you can say that based on you can say that if we go to the high voltage side from the low voltage side, then you see here you can say that when the ILV low voltage side out of the secondary winding of the CT, the provided to the low voltage side in the transformer is carrying a rated current of 5773.5 into 5 you can say that divided by this. So, this is you can say that the corresponding CT ratio. So, that gives us you can say that 3.85 ampere at the normal you can say that loading condition rated you can say that when it is feeding you can say that rated load. So, this you can say that the CT secondary current in the low voltage side. Now, our choice you can say that ideally that during normal condition you can say that the high voltage current should be equals to low voltage current you can say that what is being fed to the relay. So, if that is so you can say that then if you go back to you can say that to the high voltage side transformation transformer you can say that CT connections or the CT choice, then the corresponding 289 you can say that ampere current should be divided by you can say this you can say 3.85 into 5 this 5 ampere type CT you can say that. So, that gives us you can say that 375 ampere. So, therefore, you can say that the CT should be 375:5 you can say that should be the ratio of the CT ideally based on you can say that if you have already selected for 7500:5 for the low voltage side. But based on the availability you can say that of the CT the choice may be 400:5 and that you can say that may be the CT selection for high voltage side upon the CT selection of the low voltage side to be considered this value. Now, in this case because the high voltage side CT desirable is 375:5, but we have taken the choice of 400:5. So, there will be spill current in the you can say that relay and that spill current you can say that will be in terms of that. So, this you can say that leads to 289 into 5 is to this is the CT ratio for this you can say that in the high voltage side. So, that will lead to you can say that in the during the rated load condition 3.6 ampere will be the corresponding high voltage side you can say that current entering to the relay in each phase. So, therefore, the percentage of error you can say that CT mismatch for a selection of you can say that the high voltage value to be 7500:5 and 400:5 for the you can say that high voltage system and this to be low voltage system, that becomes equals to 3.85 side the low voltage side current and 3.6 ampere you can say that high voltage side current. So, divided by you can say that 3.85 upon the high you can say that low voltage current will be 6.5% and so agree. So, this you can say that is the corresponding percentage of error you can say that current which will be the spill current which will be there in the relay due to the CT mismatch requirement and all these things. Now, further going to the CT selections, the for the maximum internal fault or so you can say that the level of current which will be there all these things, that the CT should be able to consider that sustain that consider that level of current for that momentary fault duration, and so also consider the secondary consider side of the CT where the corresponding relay and so terminals will be there. They must be considered compatible to that large amount of current in the system. CT connection can be delta or CT connection can be also star you can say that. So, we will see later on literature you can say that going for you can say that star or delta connections to adjust you can say that the issue of you can say that phase shift issue, and so we will discuss in the later class that can be there. But in numerical you can say that today this can say that connections of the CTs can be only considered both the sides can be star connection also, that is what preferred these days. The other you can say that attention you can say that the CT saturation should be avoided if there will be CT saturation, then an external fault can be considered that during that time also differential current will flow, and that may consider create problem to the relay decision process. So, in overall we see that you can say that the transformer protection you can say that needs careful judgment on many aspects, including leading to mechanical failure, thermal failure, and allied things you can see that in this perspective. And we see that in the finally through an example also the CT selection you can say that is important, and upon availability of the you can say that different CT ratio that must be considered addressed. The connection of the CT also is an important perspective, and the CT saturation and the tolerance of the CT to the large amount of current is another you can say that are the another you can say that related issues for the selection of the CT for transformer differential protection perspective and so. So, this is something on to start with you can say that on the transformer protection. Next you can say that lesson will be more details on differential protection of transformer. Thank you.